Hi guys, I'm John from Switchbird. In this short walkthrough, I'm going to show you how to create a free inbox for Google Business Messages with two key features. One is an autoresponder. This will help you capture and be responsive to those high intent, high value leads that are coming through your Google Business profile and clicking the chat call to action. And the other is reply by email. So with Switchbird, you can converse with your leads, prospects, and customers on Google Business Messages without ever logging into Google or downloading an app. You can do it by email. So let's take a look at how this works. When you create a new account on Switchbird, we'll generate an empty inbox for you, and when you log in here, you'll see on the right hand side a preview of the automated behaviors that are already in place. Now you can edit these, you can remove them, but what the preview will do is show you a bit of what Switchbird can do in terms of automating your messaging and a bit of how Google Business Messages works. So right away I see there's a welcome message here on Google Business Messages. When a customer clicks the chat call to action, they will get a welcome message. It can be minimal, or this one includes a couple of buttons here. These are what Google calls conversation starters. So we've kitted this welcome message out with conversation starters that are tied to some messaging flows that we have in place. We also have a messaging flow for the contact who eschews our conversation starters and just types whatever. We have our default lead funnel here that looks to ascertain some information from that contact, and once they come through here, then we'll send a notification to you saying, hey, you have a new lead, hey, you have something else. If I were to click on one of these conversation starters, by the way, we have simple flows in place for those. So give me a call back. Great, we're happy to give you a call back as soon as possible. What's the best number to reach you on? If the customer were to just put garbage input or not answer the question, we insist on getting that number before we conclude the conversation, and of course send you a notification that says, hey, you have a new request for a callback. So this is a preview of what you can see in detail under the Automations tab. And I'm not going to go into this in any length, but if you wanted to, say, just get rid of that default lead automation or change it, you could edit it here. You could just take it out as easy as that. Same with the other ones, and you can, of course, add to this and build a much more sophisticated set of automations. But all we need to do to get started really is connect our Google account. So if I were to go in here and connect my Google account, it will, and by the way, on this dialog, just make sure everything's checked. Everything we ask for, we need. Sometimes Google will show this dialog without the boxes checked, so you just want to make sure they're checked and click Allow. And then we'll go and see what Google Business profiles you manage, allow you to select one. By the way, if you want to feed multiple business profiles into one inbox or do fancy multi-location things, slice out sales and support, that kind of thing, you can do that on our paid versions. On our free version, it's one GBP into one inbox. So if I select and continue with Switchbird as my GBP of choice, Google's going to create what they call a messaging agent. And this agent just needs a couple additional things here. It doesn't really need it to test it out, but in order to kind of see the full life cycle here, we'll go and add an avatar. So you need a logo or avatar or icon. This will represent the brand in Business Messages, and you also need a website URL. You also need a privacy policy. We give you a boilerplate one there. You can replace that with your own. And you see the welcome message here, right? This is what we saw in our preview. And let's say we wanted to add a conversation starter that was really just, visit our website, right? So this can be a link to an external resource as well. And that's really all we need in order to just get an agent put together for testing. And I will test that here live with you. So we can do that by going and scanning this QR code here. It will open in Google Maps, and we can see from our conversation screen when this new conversation starts here. So this is not the best way to do a demo, but I'll show you here on my phone. You can see I'm in Google Business Messages. It's got my avatar and it's got my 3 conversation starters here, and I will eschew the conversation starters here and just say hi, and we should see my conversation come up. And because I took out that lead funnel automation, it's going to get just our fallback response, right? The simplest autoresponder you could imagine. And now the conversation is here in waiting mode. That's waiting for human intervention, essentially. And my contact might add to what they have to say here. Say hello. By the way, you can see a little typing indicator when they're typing. This is a nice feature of Google Business Messages as a platform. And I can, of course, jump in here and respond. So I'll just put my response, right? Now, what I wanted to show, of course, is that I can also respond from the email notification I get from Switchbird, right? So let me just send one more message here. So one more. Boom, boom, boom. And let's go dig up the notification, respond to that via email, and just make sure everything's set up. And then from here, I mean, you could never log into Switchbird again and just get these messages going and have Google Business Messages working for you. But let's take a look and just make sure everything looks good. So here it is, our notification. We can just go ahead and reply. So we will... I'll just take my signature out. Actually, you know what? I'll leave my signature in. You'll see that we strip it out. Reply from email and send it off. And now we should be good. Should come in. And there it is. And there you have it, folks. So we have our autoresponders set up on Google Business Messages. We have an ability to reply to those messages by email, or log into the dashboard and take advantage of things like having shortcuts available to use our templated messages and so on, send sequences of messages, all that good stuff. It's all real easy, and again, available for free with Google Business Messages for a single Google Business profile. So I hope you check it out. By all means, reach out to us if you have any questions or need help getting set up. All right.